Aaron, just Aaron. Aaron says, why was there an M5, M6, and M7? What was the progression about? So when I first started working for Jamie Heineman, he was running the model shop at a production facility called Colossal Pictures. Colossal Pictures, started by Gary Gutierrez and Drew Takahashi, had done... they're the reason early MTV looked like it did. All those animations of the astronaut on the moon, that all came out of Colossal Pictures. They had a specific animation and sort of multimedia style they called Blendo. And Colossal was a real powerhouse on the commercial scene for a couple of decades. But then Colossal transitioned out of business. And Jamie bought the shop from Colossal and formed his own company. And then he had a little contest among his employees to name the company. And I was thinking, you should name it after the British Secret Service. But because the internet barely existed at this point, this is like 1993. Yeah, I mean, I had AOL. We weren't Googling everything because Google didn't even exist. So I thought that the British Secret Service was called M5, not MI6. And so I suggested calling the company M5, and Jamie did. So Jamie's company, Jamie's special effects company was, and I believe still is, called M5 Industries. So that and then we shot the entire first season of Mythbusters in Jamie's shop with just the two of us. Yeah. Right? Yeah, it was just the two of us for that first season. So then they were like, we want more episodes. Hey guys, we want more episodes than you can make. It's time to bring in some extra hosts. And that's when we brought in Scotty Chapman, Carrie Byron, and Tori Beleche. Grant Amhara auditioned for that second season and did not get picked up by Discovery until Scotty Chapman left at the end of season 2 to go back to just welding. I really respect that decision. Yeah, Scotty loved making the show with us for season 2. And at the end, she was like, yeah, this is not my pace. I don't want to do this. I'm like, I love it when someone understands and sees their life clearly. She came back. Scotty came back to work with us on, I think, the final rocket car episode. But anyway... For the second season, we now had 3 new hosts. They needed a shop. And so we rented a small shop space around the corner from Jamie's shop, and we called it M6 because there was M5 and then there was M6. We had that shop for only a year before we rented a much bigger shop because we realized we needed a much bigger shop, and that became M7. There you go. No mystery. I will tell you that I still have difficulty because Tested has 2 components. One is this shop and the other is the Tested production office. And I, frankly, every week I want to call Tested's production office M7 because it's the thing that is, it's the thing that is the other thing besides the shop. It's just this like autonomic response to it. Silver Defender asks, what were the relationships like with the neighbors of M5, M6, and M7 when Mythbusters was in production? Yeah, they weren't great. The reason we had to move from M6 to M7 was because next door to M6 was a photography studio who did portraiture, and they did not appreciate things like us pouring sugar into a V8 without a muffler on it and running it until it seized. That kind of noise was not their jam. And so when we ended up at M7, we found a much better neighbor. We were at the end of a cul-de-sac of a protected long driveway, and Mythbusters M7 was at the end of it, so there was nobody on one side. On the other side was literally a sausage manufacturing place that I think was owned by a family whose last name was Salami. I'm not kidding. And they were great. They actually supplied us sausages for when we made sausage rockets. They supplied sausages and hot dogs for several episodes over the years. They were much better. Sorry, I don't mean to say they were much better neighbors because I don't think of the photographer as a bad neighbor. I think we were the bad neighbor. And luckily, when M7 found its home, we found it because we weren't the awful neighbor to have for those folks. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support us even further, you can by becoming a tested member. Details are, of course, below, but it includes all sorts of perks, and we're building them all the time. You get advanced word and behind-the-scenes photos of some of our projects. Questions, you get to ask direct questions during my live streams, and we have some members-only videos, including the Adam real-time series of unbroken, unedited shots of me working here in the shop. They are weirdly meditative. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one.